Hello, friends. Welcome to this YouTube video program. Today, we are going to discuss another important topic, another important component of your research proposal of the dissertation course. Course code is MESP001. Course title is Dissertation of MA Education Program of Indira Gandhi National Open University. I, Dr. Nirathar De, faculty member, School of Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University, welcome you all to this video lesson. So, friends, in my earlier video lesson, I have already discussed three important component, three important aspect for preparing the research proposal. That is, I have discussed about research problem. Then I have also discussed how, as a researcher, how you can delimit your study. And further, I have also discussed about the operational definitions of the terms used in your title, in your research problem. That means the technical terms, the new terms and concepts that you have included in your research title, you have to operationally discuss it. Yesterday, we have discussed in my earlier video lesson. And today, the another important aspect, that is review of related literature. So, what is the concept of review of related literature? What is the importance of review of related literature? And what is the need of review of related literature for doing research in education? And especially, we will discuss that for preparing the research proposal, at the same time, for writing your research report, your dissertation report, how can you use the review of related literature, and how you can analyze the review of related literature, and how can you find out the gap of the studies that had been conducted earlier, and what are the new things that you are going to do in your present study. And let me to say that these video lessons are specifically prepared for the learners who are enrolled in MA education program of Indira Gandhi National Open University, and at present they are in the second year of this program. In the second year, there is the component of the practical oriented course of the project course, that is called as dissertation. Okay, this is a 10 credit course. In this course, you are supposed to conduct a small research, and for that I have already discussed in my earlier session that for support of the learners, we have provided a detailed theoretical course of educational research, that is MES016 educational research. And also, we have developed handbook of dissertation work, and I am hopeful that you must have gone through these two documents, which is available in the e-Gyankos portal of Indira Gandhi National Open University. And you must have received the hard copy of the material also. So, friends, let us go forward to understand that what is the concept of the review of related literature, and how you will write the review of related literature for preparing your research proposal, at the same time for conducting your study, and for writing the dissertation report. Let us go forward. uh, Here you see the major points that we are going to discuss today in this session. That is why review of related literature, why you will do the review of related literature. Then further we will discuss what is the review of related literature, what is the concept of the review of related literature, then what are the sources of review of related literature. Okay, so what are the different sources that we will follow, that we will use for the review of related literature. Then further we will also discuss that how to write the review of related literature. Yes, you have selected certain reviews from different sources. Then further, how to write the review of related literature. So what techniques, what style you have to follow for writing the review of related literature. So these are the four discussion point of today's video lesson. Let us first focus upon our first point, that why review of related literature. Okay, so you see, we do the review of related literature to convey the readers about the work already done and the knowledge and ideas that have been already established in a particular topic of research. So friends, you are the newers in the field of educational research. Okay, so when you select a problem, you supposed to know the status of the problem, means what are the studies that have been already conducted in that area, in that specific research problem on that title, and what are the new avenues are still left that you want to do, that you want to pursue. Okay, so what are the things have already done, and what are the things that have not been done that you want to pursue. So that's why friends, to know the status of the problem, what are the new researches have been conducted, and how the researches have been conducted, then accordingly how you can shape your research in an innovative way, how you can do a new study or bring certain newness to your research. So this is one of the need. Then further we can say, to provide an insight to the researcher about the process and the result of this study. Okay, you see, when you will go through the reviews or the earlier studies, the professional literature which is available, that will provide you a type of insight about the process and result of the study, means what research design, what research process that have been adopted earlier, and what results the earlier researchers they have received. Okay, then accordingly how you can shape your research. So that's why this is also another need for reviewing the review of related literature. Then further, to establish gap of research and inconsistencies in a body of knowledge. So let me to say here, you see, gap of research and inconsistencies, you should understand about these two terms that has been used here. One is the gap of research. You see, when you will analyze the review of related literature which have been conducted earlier, you will find out that what processes the earlier researchers they have been done, they have been adopted, and it may be the population, the sample, tools and techniques used, statistical techniques used for data analysis. Okay, then further, what findings they have received, and whether there is unanimity in the findings that they have received. Let more than 100 studies have been conducted, whether all the researchers are coming to a particular point that this is the findings of the study. So whether there are the similarities between the findings of the study. So when you will analyze the review of related literature, you have to find out whether there is the similarities of the findings of the study, or still there is inconsistencies, means a group of researchers are indicating that the findings will go in one direction, at the same time another group of researchers they are saying that in the particular topic, in the particular area, in the particular research problem, the findings are going in another direction. It means there is the inconsistencies in the body of knowledge, in the result. Okay, so that's why there is the scope for conducting the study. So this is also another need why we go for the review of related literature. Then further, to identification of a research problem. Many a time, being a researcher, being a student in education, I believe that this is the of first work for any researcher to go for review of related literature, because when we will study the review of related literature, we will find out the processes, the techniques, the style, at the same time the findings that the researchers have received earlier. So that's why that will also provide you a type of space, a type of opportunity, a type of scope, that how you will identify a research area. At the same time, how can you select a suitable research problem for your study. Yesterday we were discussing about identification of a research area, And after identification of an area, then you have to select a research problem from that area. So that's why this is the scope of review of related literature, that it will provide you a type of scope, a type of opportunity to select your research problem. Because you will when you will analyze the review, you will find out the strength of the research problem, whether that problem is still exist or that problem is resolved. So if the problem is unsolved, if the problem is still exist, that means there is the scope for conducting the study. So that's why this is also another need why we go for review of related literature. Then further, it helps to state research question and objectives. Friends, when you will go through the review of related literature, you have to go through the entire work, the entire document, the entire report. Okay, what research questions were earlier in the mind of the researcher, then accordingly what objectives the researcher has stated, then what hypothesis the researcher has stated, then accordingly what research design the researcher have adopted for conducting the study. So friends, here analyzing the review of related literature will also provide you the base and the scope to state the research question, at the same time objectives of your study. So that's why this is the importance, this is the need for analyzing the review of related literature. So friends, let us go forward to discuss other aspect. Then further we can also say, to discover unanswered question in a research. I have already said that whether the problem is still exist or whether the problem is solved. The problem is solved. We can say the problem is solved only when all the researchers are coming at a point, when there is the similarities of the findings of the study. Unanimously the researchers are saying that yes, this is the findings, then there is, you can say that the problem is solved. But here, to discover the unanswered questions, so when you will analyze the review, you will find out certain points, you will find out certain space that these areas are still unanswered, unsolved. So accordingly you have to bridge that gap, and you have to engage yourself in the process of your work, that how to answer of that questions. Then accordingly you can design your study. Then further, another need is to avoid repetition of an earlier conducted study. So friends, if many studies are conducted, then why again you are going to repeat the study? So that's why, for avoiding unnecessary repetition of the study, this is also another scope, another need for analyzing the review of related literature. Then for identification of a strong theoretical conceptual framework of research problem, this is very much important. So friends, when we are going to conduct a study, we should first go through the variables, okay, the theoretical construct of the variables. So when we analyze the review of related literature, when we analyze the studies that have been conducted earlier, it means we will get a detailed theoretical construct, theoretical discussion of the variable and concepts that have been used in that study. So we'll find out a detailed theoretical construct. Okay, you take any variable. So what does that variable mean? Okay, and what is the theory aligned with that variable? How that variable is linked with, associated with, correlate with another variable. Okay, so you will get a holistic knowledge, a consolidated knowledge about a variable, or about the theoretical construct of that variable. So this is also another need for reviewing the related literature. Then further we can say it helps to decide the research method, design, sample, tools used, and techniques of analysis of data. So friends, try to understand, when you will analyze the review of related literature, we will find that what particular research method the earlier researchers have used. Earlier, I was talking in my earlier video lessons about different types of research methodology, research methods. It may be a survey method, it may be an experimental method, it may be a philosophical method. it may be a type of historical method. So in the particular research that you are going to pursue, what research method you have to use. So you will get a type of insight, you will get a type of idea when you will analyze the review of related literature. Then the entire design of the study. Okay, I have already said that it may be related to the population, it may be related to the sample, the techniques of sample, the methods of sample that the earlier researchers have adopted, have adopted to select the sample, then tools used. Okay, for data collection, it may be a questionnaire, it may be an interview, it may be an observation schedule, it may be a type of attitude scale, checklist, or whatever the tool may be. So you will find out an idea that what tools have been used earlier in that particular problem, so that will help you a lot for conceptualizing and shaping your research. Then techniques of data analysis, that earlier how the data have been analyzed, by using what statistical techniques the data have been analyzed. So friends, when you will analyze the review of related literature, you will get a clear picture of the studies that have been conducted earlier, the processes that have been adopted. Then accordingly you can shape your new study. So friends, let us go forward. Then further we will discuss that what is review of related literature. Okay, ये क्या है, review of related literature क्या है? Review of related literature is one of the most important steps of research process. I have already said that this is one of the important component of your research, of your dissertation work. It should be the part of your research proposal, at the same time your dissertation report. In dissertation report, there is there is an independent chapter, that is the chapter 2, that is about review of related literature. So you have to write a chapter, maybe in 20 pages, maybe in 30 pages. So here, the studies that you have conducted earlier, you have to analyze that review of related literature. Okay, the process that have been adopted, the findings that have been received, then accordingly the inconsistencies in the result, then how your research will bridge that inconsistencies, bridge that gap. So that's why it is the most important step for conducting a research. Then it is an account of what is already known about a particular phenomena. So about a particular knowledge, about a particular area, about a particular aspect, particular phenomena, what have been earlier conducted, you will get a clear picture. Then further, review of related literature is a comprehensive summary of previous research on a topic. Research is a very systematic and scientific activity. Okay, so haphazardly we cannot proceed. So before proceeding, we should know that what have been done earlier. So that's why a comprehensive summary of the review of related literature will speak, will provide a detailed picture, a clear picture, that this is still a problem. The problem is still exist, because this is an unsolved problem. This has not been solved earlier by the researcher. Okay, so that's why it will provide a clear picture, and you have to develop a comprehensive summary about the research problem that you have selected. Further, a literature review is a body of text that aims to review the critical points of knowledge on a particular topic of research. I have already discussed. So I think now it must be clear among us that what is the review of related literature. We have already discussed that what are the needs for conducting the review of related literature, and again we have also discussed about what is review of related literature. So friends, आगे चलते हैं. जब रिव्यू ऑफ रिलेटेड लिटरेचर हम करें हमारा रिसर्च में, what are the different sources that we supposed to use, okay, to get the reviews, to get the studies. Okay, so friends, here you see mostly we can use two types of reviews. One is the primary sources and other is the secondary sources. Means the data that we will get in review of related literature, we can get data by using the primary source as well as the secondary source. Okay, in our next slides we'll discuss about what are the particular sources that we supposed to use for getting the review of related literature. So here the sources, just like the first source is the published thesis. Okay, the thesis that have been already published. It may be in a book form, it may be published in certain professional journal. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to go through that published thesis, published document. Okay, so that will give you an insight about the things that have been done earlier. Okay, then further, research journals. So you will find many good articles which is published in different research journals. So what you have to do, you have to read out that articles, and you have to find out the new things. Okay, what have been done, what have been addressed in different articles. Then accordingly, that will help you for providing or bringing newness in your study, and for making your study a type of innovative study. Then further, website and encyclopedia, I have already said in my earlier discussion that you can also use the encyclopedia about understanding a very concept. If you are confused about a concept, a new terms, new terminology, and new concept, then you can go for the encyclopedia. You can understand that what the concept really mean. Okay, and from different website also you will find related literature, certain studies. It may be in form of you can say published data, it may be in form of you can say certain important aspects, certain documentation. Okay, so when we'll go through different websites, government websites, national institutions, international bodies. Okay, then you can find out the developments, what new things which is going across the country and across the world. Then accordingly you can just bring newness to your study. Then further, government reports and documents. You will find the government's reports and documents. It may be a policy report, it may be an you can say an educational committee report of an educational committee and commissions. Just like you can say now the document is available in the Ministry of Education website, Government of India, that is NEP 2020, National Education Policy 2020. Accordingly, you will also find out many new documents, many new policies, acts, just like Right to Education Act, what it says. Then further, right to information. Then further you can send in curriculum also you will find that the school education curriculum framework, National Curriculum Framework 2005, and again another National Curriculum Framework 2000, National Curriculum Framework for School Education is going to going to published by the end of this year, by next year, as per the NEP 2020. So what I mean to say here, government reports and documents is also a type of source for evoked related literature. Then further, conference proceedings. Many a time you will find that the seminars and conference workshops which is happening across the country and across the world, you will find that their proceedings are available. So friends, when you will go through the proceedings of the conferences, seminars, and workshops, symposia, you will find out many articles, many papers, and that articles and papers is also work as a type of source for your study. Then further, new newspapers and periodicals, everyday newspaper, and also in different media. It may be print, it may be electronic media. You will find many news, many developments in periodicals. Okay, many articles. So that also serve as a type of source for your study. Then further, books. Okay, books you can find out in internet. You will find e-books. At the same time, in your library you will also find many books. Then OER and internet, open educational resources. Then internet, you will find ocean of data, ocean of information which is available in internet. It may be in a form of OER, it may be in a form of open educational resource, open educational, massive open online courses, okay, MOOCs, or it may be in form of many other documents. So when you will access internet, then you will find the ocean of data, ocean of information. So that will help you a lot for conducting your study, for conceptualizing your study, for preparing your research proposal, at the same time for writing your dissertation report. So these are the sources that you can use. So apart from the sources that I have discussed here, you can also use another sources, any other sources also. Okay, periodicals and the research reports, survey reports which is available in different libraries in national institutions. Okay, so that also you can go. In Swat Ganga, you will find that many research studies that have been documented, that have been uploaded in the Swat Ganga portal. So you can also use the studies that are available in Swat Ganga. So, friends, let us go forward to discuss about how to write the review of related literature. Okay, yes, by using different sources, we have collected the review of related literature, and further how to write the review of related literature. हम लिखे कैसे, हम डेवलप कैसे, उसका एक नैरेटिव हम कैसे डेवलप करें, उसे समराइज हम कैसे करें, उसे एनालिसिस हम कैसे करें। चलिए समझने के लिए कोशिश करते हैं कि रिव्यू ऑफ रिलेटेड लिटरेचर को कैसे हम लिखें। You see, for writing the review of related literature, the first step is search for related literature. Our first work is to search. कहाँ वो मिलेगा? What are the different sources we have to follow, we have to access for getting the review of related literature for our study. Means the studies which is related to our problem, our research problem. Further, after going through the different sources uh, for our review of related literature, if we have received a relevant literature, then our second step is to evaluate the source, whether that source is an authentic source or not. Many a time, friends, you must have observed, I have observed that in the internet people are writing, it may be a blog, it may be a type of because it is open for all, anybody can create certain things, anybody can upload certain things in the internet, in his personal website or in one's personal blog. Okay, so when you are getting a blog writing, or when you are getting certain information in personal website or in any website of internet, then you have to evaluate the source, whether that source is an authentic source or not. Many a time you will find that the researchers, they are writing the studies, but that is not the authentic studies. So you have to evaluate it. This is also, before writing the review of related literature, this is your work, this is your responsibility as a researcher. Then further, identify the themes and the gaps. So you have to find out that what are the different things that you want to address in your study as review of related literature. Then what are the gaps? ठीक है, क्या गैप है, क्या अंतर है, क्या काम हुआ है और क्या काम नहीं हुआ है। सो जो काम नहीं हुआ है, आप वही काम करने के लिए कोशिश करेंगे। मैंने कई बार इस चीज को जिक्र किया कि समस्या स्टिल एग्जिस्ट करता है या समस्या सॉल्व हो चुका है। यदि समस्या स्टिल एग्जिस्ट करता है, इट मीन्स देयर इज ए गैप। ओके, सो यू हैव टू फील, योर रिसर्च विल फील दैट गैप। तो आपको गैप ढूंढना होगा। जो रिव्यूज, जो स्टडीज आप कलेक्ट किए हैं, आप उसे पढ़ेंगे, पढ़ के देखेंगे क्या क्या चीजें इसमें हुआ है। और जितने सारे स्टडीज आप लिए हैं, सभी स्टडीज को जब कंसोलिडेट आप करेंगे, जब उसका समरी आप डेवलप करेंगे, तब एक पिक्चर आपको मिलेगा कि नेशनल लेवल में क्या क्या चीजें हुआ है। What are the different type of studies that have been conducted at the national level, and what are the different studies that have been conducted at the international level? Okay, what are the nature of the study, what processes that have been adopted in conducting the study. In national level studies, what are the findings. In international level studies, what are the findings, what are the sample size, what tools have been used, then accordingly what are the findings. Okay, and how the results have been discussed in the studies. So it is your work to find out the gap. When you will rigorously discuss the findings that have been received, then further you have to prepare a detailed outline and the structure of the studies of structure of the review of related literature. Okay, you have to write it, you have to structureize it, because the studies or the documents which is available in different sources, really that documents are huge. A PhD thesis may be in 300 pages, maybe in 200 pages. It is not possible to you can say read the entire thesis, or how much things you have to extract as review of related literature. So you have to, when you will summarize it, you have to take the crux of it. So that's why you have to prepare a proper structure. Then after preparing the proper structure, then you have to write your literature review. Okay, further in our next slides we will discuss that when you write the review, then what are the different, as you have prepared the structure, what are the different major aspect that's supposed to address. So here you see, uh, when you write the review of related literature, I'm just reading the paragraph that I have mentioned in my slide. A good literature review doesn't just summarize the sources. It is not only to summarize the sources, but it analyzes. You have to analyze it. Okay, means the researcher X, the researcher Y, the researcher Z, researcher A, B, C, what they have, what findings they have received and what discussions they have made in their study. So you have to analyze it point to point, objective to objective, findings to findings. Then you will find out certain gaps. So you have to analyze. It should be a section of your review of related literature. First, you have to describe the reviews. Then after describing the reviews, then you have to discuss the reviews. You have to analyze. Analyzing and synthesizing is the process of discussing the reviews. So when you will discuss, then you will analyze and synthesize. You will reach at a point that yes, such things have been done and such things have not been done, and in your research this is the important, this is the justification, this is the rationales that why you are going to conduct this study. Your intention, your study is going to bridge that gap. So that's why it analyzes, synthesizes, and critically evaluates to give a clear picture of the state of knowledge. Means knowledge means here the theory or the solution of a problem. Okay, so it will provide you a clear picture that what have been done. Okay, on the subject, identify the gaps and provide a direction for the research. So that's why uh, when you will write the review of related literature, such pictures should come out. That means it should provide a clear direction of the earlier researchers, then accordingly how you conceptualize your study. Let us go forward. How to write the review of related literature. So, friends, here you see directions of writing the review of related literature. So, when you write the review of related literature, first you write the author. Author means who has conducted this study, and then after the year, in which year the researcher have conducted this study. You can write each and every review of related literature in a separate page. You have to make a document for that, you have to make a chapter for that. Okay, तो आपको लिखना पड़ेगा कि ऑथर कौन है, कौन ये स्टडी किया है, और इन हुच ईयर, कौन से ईयर में वो स्टडी हुआ है. If more than one authors have conducted this study, you can also mention the name of all the authors. Then further, nature and level of the study. What is the nature of the study? What is the level of the study? Whether this is a master dissertation or a dissertation or a PhD dissertation or a type of project or a type of action research or a type of independent study or a type of government policy, government document, okay, or a type of report of any commissions. So, friends, what I mean to say, the level of the studies should be mentioned because that will give a clear picture that the authors, year of the work, nature of the study, including the title, and the level of the study. This has been conducted at what level? Whether it is simply a research paper or that research paper is a part of a dissertation work or a part of a PhD work or an independent research work. So it should be clear. Then for the title of the research, book, report, and study. The title of the research, because that will provide you about the nature of the study. The title of the research or the title of the book that you have followed as a source for the review of related literature. Then the title of the study. Then further the methodology or the design. Many a time, because of the paucity of time, if you find that the research methodology, mentioning the research methodology, including the design, just like the sample, just like the population, the tools used for collecting the data and the process of analyzing the data. If you find that certain uniqueness is there in the methodology and design, that also you can mention. Okay. Then further major findings related to the present study. Then after, what is the findings of the study? So these are the certain important aspects when you will write the review of related literature you supposed to write. And further, here you see the note, a detailed reference of review of related literature has to be given in the reference section of the thesis or the report. So friends, I have already said that when you are preparing your research proposal or dissertation report, when you are writing the review of related literature as one of the chapter, in synopsis it is one of the point, then all the review of related literature, the sources you have to mention in the reference section. Okay, that the name of the researcher, year of study, title of the study, level of the study, and where it has published. It may be name of the journal, it may be the link of the website, it may be and the place of publication also. Okay, so that's supposed to mention in the reference section. And here many a time researchers and students are asking question that in a synopsis how many reviews should be included, and in a dissertation report how many reviews should be included. So friends, let me to say there is no such guidelines. It depends upon the number of studies that have been conducted earlier. It depends upon the status of your research problem. If few studies have been conducted, then definitely the review of related literature will be very less. And if many studies have been conducted and there is no unanimity in the findings of the researcher, findings of the researchers, and if the problem is still exists, that means there is the scope for further research in that area, in that problem. Then here, what you have to do, if many studies have been conducted, then definitely your review of related literature will be a big chapter. Okay, many studies may be included. Okay, so it depends upon the availability of review of related literature. And many times I have observed that students are saying, sir, I just received only 10 reviews, I am not getting any reviews. So friends, in different problem of education, in different issues of education, you will find many studies. So it is up to you that what are the different sources that you have accessed. Okay, so in internet as well as the print and electronic medias, when you will use, when you will access, you will find many studies. Okay, so such excuse should not be there. You may be right if the study is a new study. If many studies have not been conducted, then definitely the number of review of related literature will be less. But if many studies have been conducted, then the length of your review of related literature will more. So friends, one more thing that I want to add here: when you are writing the review of related literature, definitely analyze. Just after stating, after describing the review of related literature, then you make one point, one section of your review of related literature to analyze it. So when you will analyze, then ultimately you have to discuss the findings of the earlier studies. Then accordingly you have to find out a clear gap. Okay, you have to develop a summary by narrating it, by analyzing it. Let us go forward. Here, friends, I have just given one example of how you have to write the review of related literature. Here you see, let day 2009. It means day is the surname of of an author who has conducted a study in the year 2009. It is just an example. It is just an example in the year 2009. Here you see the name comes first, then after the year of study, then conducted a PhD study. This is the level of the study. Conducted a PhD study. Here is the name, then year, then PhD study is the level of the study. On the title here mentioned study habits of high achieving CBSE and state board students of secondary school examination. Okay, so here you see the title is also mentioned here. Then the study reported that the high achieving students, irrespective of their boards, were very laborious and spending around 7 hours a day in studies apart from their regular school hours. Around 75% of high achieving students were participating in private tutorials or coaching. They were spending 2 to 3 hours in their coaching and private tutorials. So here you see, this is a PhD study. There may be huge findings, uh, but here what you have to do many a time, not necessarily that you have to quote, you have to write all the findings of a study. So you have to read out the findings and you have to address only the objective which is related to your study, and you have to find out the findings of that particular objective, not all. Okay, so keep it in your mind. So here it will, you see, the name, year, level of the study, title, and the findings. Here few findings have been mentioned that may be related to your study, not necessarily to include all the findings, the irrelevant findings for your study. I'm not saying irrelevant findings of that study, irrelevant findings for your study, because your study is having a particular aim, okay, particular purpose. You have certain research question, you have certain research objectives. So whichever is related, associated, linked with your research question and objectives, only address those research questions and those objectives, not necessary to discuss it in detail. So friends, these are certain important aspect of review of related literature we discussed first today, for the need of review of related literature, then what is the concept of review of related literature, and further we also discussed about different sources of review of related literature, and we also discussed that how to write, how to develop review of related literature in your research problem, in your research proposal, at the same time in writing the dissertation report. I think this session will help you for conceptualizing your study, especially the section of your research proposal, that is review of related literature, and the chapter of your dissertation report, that is review of related literature. And in my next video lesson, I will discuss another important aspect of your dissertation work. Thank you.